Hi, my name is Stuart. I work for Aquarius Supply. Today we're going to talk a little bit about grubs. Hopefully you'll learn what you need to know about grubs. We'll be talking about why you need to know about them, where are the grubs, what are grubs, when do grubs appear, and most importantly, how do I take care of them? Now if you look at this picture, you can see that there's some sort of damage here. It could be disease. It could be a place where a homeowner dumped some cleaning products. It could be a pack of wild dogs. We're not sure. Let's figure this out. How do I tell if it's grubs? Sure way to tell is if you can grab a hold of the turf and pull it back. When you pull it back, and if you have grubs, you'll see them right there. Sometimes people, select 1 square foot and dig down 3 inches and count the number of grubs. If you have more than 5, typically that requires control. Anything less than that is usually under the tolerable threshold. Now, as if this damage isn't bad enough, it can get worse than just brown turf. This picture here, oh my goodness, it shows that there's been some sort of crazy damage. And the reason we know that this damage was done by raccoon is the property owner actually installed a motion sensing a game cam, and she was able to see the raccoons do the damage. Matter of fact, she said it looked like there were 30 of them. To make matters worse, well, here's a different situation. You have a bunch of crows that are doing damage. Might have been in conjunction with some skunks or some raccoons, or they might have done it all themselves. The only saving grace about this is we now know that it wasn't Tommy from down the street doing this. Japanese beetle is one of the types of grubs. There are lots of different types of grubs that do damage. We're going to go over them real quick. In this slide here, on the far left you have an egg, and on the far right you have the adult. And the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages are all underground. And that's where they do the damage to the turf. After they emerge, they can do damage to our landscape. This shot shows a bunch of Japanese beetle feasting on a rose, that poor rose, and that homeowner is going to be pretty upset. Not only are they feasting, but they're mating, and they're going to the next rose, and they're having another feast, and they're mating again, and they're laying eggs this whole time. Is it important that you know a Japanese beetle from a masked chafer beetle, which looks like this? Sometimes it has some value. It's not critical. The masked chafer looks very similar to the Japanese beetle, and they're both kind of browny bugs, but you can see the Japanese beetle has sort of a green iridescent look to it and kind of a black top. The masked chafer has sort of a black mask in its front. The European chafer is very similar, but it doesn't have the black on it at all. And the Asiatic garden beetle is a little bit more plump. The front legs are a little bit different. The rear legs are a little bit different. The long and short of this is they're all grubs. They'll all do damage, and sometimes we need to take care of it. This is a chart of a calendar year showing, if you look at the top, you've got January through December. And this represents the different stages of the grubs and the insects. In January, February, March, April, they're all grubs, and they're underground. And you can see in the January area, the grub is further down in the soil. And as it progresses in the season, they kind of rise up and they start feeding on the roots. Through May, just when they pupate, they don't do as much. They do, go through metamorphosis, and they don't do as much damage. But then they emerge from the ground in June or July. A lot of people will call them June bugs, and that's why. And then they'll start laying eggs very quickly. And as you can see by the grass indication there, that the color of the grass kind of changes there, and that's to go along with the drought and heat and the damage that the grubs do. To the right of the egg mass in the soil section there, you'll see the grubs are very small. August they get bigger. September they get pretty well grown. if you follow the chart down a little bit further, strategy 1 is be like your third round, your third time frame, your first being your pre-emergent, your second your broadleaf, and third could be a insect control. We've got lots of products to take care of this. Strategy number 2 kind of overlaps preventative and curative, and strategy 3 is a curative solution. Now, importantly, how do we control these things? Can we control them? The answer is yes. We have liquid control options and granular control products. This first item here is a fertilizer plus insect control. The next one is also a fertilizer plus insect control, but you can see they're different formulations. This one is our Organics product, 1100. It's a fertilizer plus Organics plus a insect control, meaning grubs. And this last one is curative. But this last one, the Dialox, a very time-honored product on a corncob base. All of these need to be watered in order to activate it to get down through the thatch to the grubs. But this last one, Dialox here, does not have any fertility associated with it. The important takeaway from this presentation is that we at Aquarius have solutions for you, and if you get in touch with us before there's a problem, everybody will be much happier. As usual, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can ask that branch, or you can ask one of your turf care specialists. I'm Stuart. There's also Nick and Pete. We can all help you with the solutions to your landscape situations. Please see the credits. Thanks for watching.